So, have you ever designed what you thought was the perfect customer journey, only to watch it just completely fall apart in the real world? We've all been there. Today, we're moving beyond those rigid, static plans. In this explainer, we're going to dive into how to create genuinely intelligent, responsive experiences using a really powerful workshop format and a tool called the Kairos deck. For years, we've been totally obsessed with this question on the left: what is the perfect journey? But in the real world, things change, right? Deliveries get delayed, stock runs out, customers have all kinds of unique problems. The adaptive approach asks a fundamentally better question: how should the service behave when conditions change? It's a huge shift from designing a fixed path to designing an intelligent response. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the problem of static CX. Then I'll introduce you to the Kairos deck. After that, we'll walk step by step through the 120-minute workshop. We'll cover how to diagnose where you're at right now, make sure everything's safe with something called the 4 gates, and then finally, how to find your very first adaptive moment to tackle. All right, let's start with the core issue, the reason this workshop is so essential. It's all about what happens when our beautifully designed happy paths smash right into the messy, unpredictable nature of reality. When a service can't adapt, the fallout is honestly predictable and it gets costly fast. That website promising 2-day delivery when you know the warehouse is 3 days behind? That's a broken promise, plain and simple. And what happens next? A huge spike in "where is my order" calls, which just destroys trust and drives up your cost to serve. Ultimately, customers get fed up and your conversion and retention numbers take a direct hit. This isn't just a design failure, it's an operating model failure. So, how do we fix this whole mess? Well, the answer is in building a system that can actually respond to reality. And this is where the Kairos deck comes in. It's a toolkit built specifically to help your team design these adaptive moments. And here it is. The Kairos deck isn't just a set of pretty cards. It's a structured system designed to get you having a focused, productive conversation. Its entire reason for being is to help teams go from spotting points of static friction to designing smart, real-time responses. Now, what's really cool is how this deck is put together. You've got these moment cards that lay out common friction points, things like bill shock or cancel intent. And then you have 2 absolutely critical diagnostic tools. Card A, the Adaptive Behavior Ladder, which is all about what a service can do, and Card B, the Data Maturity Ladder, which assesses what you know. Okay, let's get right into the heart of it. We're not talking about a months-long project here. This is a focused, high-impact workshop that you can run in a single session. Let's walk through the plan. That's right, just 2 hours. The goal here is all about speed and clarity, not getting bogged down in endless debate. This time box format forces the team to make decisions and turn those insights directly into action. So, the workshop kicks off with a quick 10-minute intro, just to get everyone on the same page. Then, the real work starts. For 20 minutes, you'll use those moment cards to map out the friction points in your current customer journey. And this isn't about guesswork. It's about finding where the pain is real. Then you'll take a sharp 10 minutes to prioritize, narrowing your focus to the moments that are going to give you the most bang for your buck. The second half is where things get really diagnostic. You'll spend about 25 minutes assessing your signal data, like what do you actually know in that moment, then 20 minutes to score your adaptive capability. What can you realistically do about it? And the final 20 minutes are absolutely crucial. This is where you commit to an owner and define concrete next steps, closing out the workshop with a clear plan. Okay, let's zoom in on those diagnostic steps. To do this right, the workshop uses 2 core frameworks, which are represented by cards A and B. Think of these as the 2 ladders that help you figure out your maturity. First up is the Data Maturity Ladder. This answers the big question: what data can we actually act on? It's a scale that goes all the way from unknown, where you're basically just guessing, up to predictive, where you can anticipate a customer's need or risk before it even happens. So the key takeaway here is this: the more accurate your data, the higher you can climb this ladder. And this makes it so much more real. For example, assumed intent could just be a campaign ID. Observed data is live evidence, like someone rage-clicking on your site or viewing the cancellation page over and over. Operational data is the hard truth from your systems. Think real-time inventory or order status. This makes a really abstract concept super tangible for your team. The second ladder is all about adaptive behavior. This one answers the question: what can the service actually do in the moment? It starts simple. Inform is just personalizing some content. Assist is about helping customers finish tasks. It goes all the way up to Act, where the service can literally take action on the customer's behalf. And here's the kicker: your spot on the data ladder determines how high you can safely climb this one. Now, climbing that behavior ladder, especially when you get near automation, can feel pretty risky, right? How do you make experiences smart without, breaking things or losing customer trust? That's where this simple but incredibly powerful governance protocol comes in.
So, before any adaptive moment goes live, it has to pass through these four gates. The truth gate asks if your data is actually reliable enough. The safety gate stress tests for all the ways it could fail. The measurement gate makes sure you can prove its value and spot problems. And the compliance gate checks that everything is lawful and auditable. Honestly, this framework is your secret weapon for scaling safely.
Okay, so with these tools and safety checks in hand, the goal isn't to boil the ocean. It's to find your first high-impact adaptive moment and prove that it works, fast. And that requires a fundamental shift in how you think. This slide says it all, really. The old journey approach, it takes 6 to 18 months and it's run by a committee. But the momentum approach focuses on one specific friction point. It has a single owner, and it's designed to prove its value in 30 to 90 days. It's just faster, way more accountable, and the connection between your action and the outcome is crystal clear. So, this brings us to the key question for you and your team. Forget redesigning the entire end-to-end journey for a minute. Based on everything we just talked about, what's a single high-impact moment of friction that you could make more intelligent, like right now? Is it a payment failure, a delivery disruption? That's your starting point. Ultimately, this is about way more than just one workshop or one cool new feature. The organizations that are going to win are the ones building a repeatable system, a true capability for making their experiences smart. And they're doing it safely, measurably, and in a way that can actually scale. That's the real power of moving from static journeys to adaptive moments.